a good day. And just in case you haven't had a good day, I hope that you remember undoubtedly that you serve a good God, and he has a way of putting tremendous endings on terrible beginnings. It's Wednesday, and we're glad to be back in life sessions today. I hope that even as we gather together tonight, that we'll have an opportunity to dive into God's word and to learn from one another and to grow. And so I'm going to ask you at the beginning of our time together to do our big three. Number one, I need you to like this stream. Go ahead, click that thumbs up or that hearts button. Number two, I need you to share. What is happening here at Life Church is something that we all should believe should be shared with others. And so I need you to click that share button. And then number three, I need you to use that comment section throughout the time that we share together, but definitely right now to engage in a moment of digital fellowship. We're glad to be together today, and I hope that as we spend time together, we'll have the opportunity to witness the growth that God is doing in our individual lives and our collective lives as a church family. Listen, we know that there are several things happening this week, and I want to make sure that you are aware of them so that you can put them on your calendar and invite others to join us as we partake in them. Number one, remember tomorrow night we will be on the Zoom platform at 7 p.m. for our life sessions with Elder Graves. That's an interactive session where you get to come off mute, come off camera, share with the class, and actually engage with one another. And so I encourage you, if you've not been participating, to participate or to invite people to participate in our Thursday night life sessions. Then on Saturday morning at 10 a.m., you want to get up, get your workout clothes on, make your way to the Life Church campus, and have a great time engaging in fun, fitness, and fellowship with Deacon Jones and the Tone and Release class. It is growing, and it is a fabulous time. And so I encourage you, if you've not been, get there. If you've been and you sort of fell off, get back. If you've been going, continue to come and to participate. It's a wonderful time and opportunity for each of those participants to grow, not just in the area of fitness, but in relationship as well. And so we encourage you to be there. And then on Sunday, we will be back on campus, online, and on Praise 106.1 for our life experience worship gathering. And so we encourage you to be there with us at that time. Remember that next Sunday will be Family and Friends Sunday. So I want you even now to start inviting at least 2 people to come to church with you next Sunday. Even if you worship online, invite people to join you online and ask them to come and experience life with you. That, of course, will be at 10:30 a.m. And then on the last Sunday of this month, on the 26th, I believe it is, the 26th of this month, we are going to have our meet and greet experience with myself and Elder and the leaders of the church, all new members who've joined since October of last year. We encourage you and invite you to join us for breakfast. That will be on the last Sunday of this month. We want to get together and just have a time where we can talk and learn more about you and ensure that you know as much as possible about your church and answer any questions that you might have as well. So remember to be there. Immediately after breakfast, we'll move into our life experience encounter, and we will worship God together. So we look forward to each of those things happening. Listen, tonight we're going to continue in our study about God's plan. Of course, we've been talking about the fact that we are built for beyond, and we've been going through each and every one of these phases, and we are continuing our lessons on the plan of God. He has a plan for each and every one of our lives, and that means that you and I need to make sure that we're not just tuned in and tapped in to the fact that he has a plan for our lives, but we need to know what that means. And so that's what we'll be studying tonight. I want you to go to the 143rd division of Psalms, the 143rd division of Psalms. I want you to go there with me tonight, and we're going to read verses 7, 8, 9, and 10. The 143rd division of Psalms, verses 7 through 10, is going to claim our attention this evening. I'll be reading from the Amplified, and so it may sound a little bit different than the version that you have, but nonetheless, it's the Word of God, and it's going to guide us during the time that we share together. You're going to find that these words have been written in the 143rd division of Psalm, verses 7 through 10. It says, "Answer me quickly, O Lord, my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I will become like those who go down into the pit or the grave. Let me hear your loving kindness in the morning, for I trust in you. Teach me the way in which I should walk, for I lift up my soul to you. Rescue me, O Lord, from my enemies. I take refuge in you. Teach me to do your will, so that I may please you. For you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me on level ground. Just for a little while, I want to teach from the theme, the one we need. The one we need. This evening, I hope that every one of us can attest to the fact that life has a way of capturing our attention and becoming the focal point of our thoughts, emotions, and spirits. Life just has a way of capturing you at moments, and everything else that you were thinking about, everything else that you were planning, everything else that you had going on seems to take a sidestep to this thing that has a way of capturing you. And it can be a variety of things, from our health to our finances to our family to our jobs and our careers. It could be anything. And one of the things that we have to understand about this is that if we're all honest, we would admit that part of the challenge connected to following God's plan for our lives is remaining focused and locked in during the painful, challenging, capturing moments of our lives, and don't miss this, of his plan. Because each and everything that happens in our lives is connected to his plan. God already divinely and strategically, intentionally planned out the days of our lives. He knew what was going to happen on each and every day. So nothing catches him off guard, yet it has the potential to catch us off guard. And there's absolutely nothing that we can do to keep that from happening outside of the steps that we see the psalmist take in these scriptures tonight. I want you to know that it is easy for us to say that he's the one because he's able to do anything. Those generic and yet true statements are real, and yet and still all of us know that in moments of challenge, in moments of pain, in moments of anguish and depression and disillusionment, those don't comfort us the way that we would think that it could, because it is generic and general. But I want to give us some specific steps that David shows us in this psalm that we can implement into each and every one of our lives. And he starts off in verse number 7. And he says, "Answer me quickly, O Lord, my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I will become like those who go down into the pit or the grave." I want to pause right here, and I want to say something that I love about the Psalms, and that is that the psalmist, whether it's David or someone else writing, the psalmists never have an issue admitting that they are hurting. I must say that again. The psalmists never have an issue with admitting that they are hurting. They recognize that life will bring its set of challenges, that it will at times get you to a place where you are anxious or distressed. You will be in your feelings, or maybe you're experiencing grief. There are those moments in our lives. And let me lift a burden off of someone tonight and say to you, even as a believer, there will be moments and times when you will not be feeling your best. You will be stressed, you will be frustrated, you will be anxious, you will be grieving, you will be disillusioned. And when those moments happen, don't try to act like they're not happening. God is enough God that he can handle you saying, "Here's where I am." But notice what the psalmist does. He says, "Here's where I am, but here's where I need you most." I'm here. I'm dealing with this. I'm feeling this. I'm expressing this to you, but I'm not leaving myself here. I need you to come get me where I am and help me in this moment. And that's why God is the one that we need, because whatever you find yourself in, whatever circumstance, whatever emotion, whatever situation you and I find ourselves in, he is a God who can come to your rescue and find you there, strengthen you there, help you there, and move you to your next place. And that's what the psalmist shows us here in the text, because David says he's not only the one because of what he can do, but he's the one because I can call him whatever I'm feeling. I can call on him and he will come to my rescue. Here's what he says in verse number 8. He says, let me hear your loving kindness in the morning, for I trust you. Don't miss it. Let me hear your loving kindness in the morning, for I trust you. Here's the first thing I want to say to us tonight about him being the one we need. Because he is the one we need, we must commit to a pursuit of daily rediscovery of God's love. I'm in the text. Every day, David says, because he's the one we need to explore, we need to pursue a rediscovery of God's love. Because it's easy to get caught up into the trappings of what God does for us and miss the fact that his love is the foundation of everything he does for us. He never does anything for us that is not grounded in the love that he has for us. Jesus dies for us because God loves us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. His love for us prompts him to respond for us. And in this last psalm attributed to David, the author expresses deep emotional suffering. David is going through. David says, I feel oppressed, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, I'm feeling distressed, and I have feelings of death. And he cries out to God in this experience and says, what I need most right now is to feel your love. But before you address the material factor, I need you to help me with the emotional factor. Because the reason you send Jesus is because of your love for me. So I know that if I experience your love, something that's going to help me is on the way. God, help me here. So David says, what I need first and foremost is a rediscovery of your love. I went to bed last night feeling like this, God. Early in the morning, I need to feel your love. I need to know that your loving kindness towards me is still better than life. I need to feel it and I need to experience it before I get on my way and carry out the duties and responsibilities of today. Remember the days of long ago. All that God has done in the history of your life and the lives of those around you, this moment that you are in is not an isolated case. The moment that you are dealing with, for some of you, where you are feeling overwhelmed or depressed or anxious or grieving, this is not the first time you felt it. You have felt it before, but it was the love of God that met you in those moments and will meet you in this moment. And here's what it'll help you do. It'll help you understand that God is fulfilling a great plan and you're a part of it. That's what the love of God will help you do. It will help you see that not only is God up to something, you are a part of what he is up to. He has not excluded you. He has not forgotten about you. He has not left you out. You are a part of his plan. And when we suffer, when we are dealing with life's realities, we can lose sight of who God is and how wonderful his plan is for our lives. But deliverance comes, strength comes, healing comes, hope comes from turning back to him, remaining in him, and experiencing his love. The first thing you need to know tonight as it relates to him being the one that we need is that he has a love that never fails. His love opens the door to things that we need that we don't even know we need. And so the psalmist says, listen, every day we ought to be in a pursuit of rediscovering God's love for us. God, show me how much you love me today. Help me feel an expression of your love that will remind me that in spite of whatever is going on in my life, you have a plan and I am part of your plan, because that is how much you love me. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you have a pursuit of his love for you and me. But the psalmist continues. He says, teach me the way in which I should walk. for I lift up my soul to you. The first thing that David does is he expresses how he's feeling. The second thing he does is he says, listen, I need to make sure that every day I pursue a rediscovery of your love for me. But the next thing he does is he says, help me never lose a desire for your direction. He says, help me never lose a desire for you to guide me through and in what I am dealing with in my life. David, the psalmist says, listen, I need you to teach me the way in which I should walk. Right now, with what I'm dealing with, I need you to show me which direction to take. I need you to help me with the decisions that need to be made. I need you to tell me when to go and when to pause. Because like the psalmist, we've got to make a plea for guidance. We got to make a plea for care. We have to make a plea for deliverance and instructions because of who God is for us. When we know that he loves us, we don't have, or we shouldn't have, an issue with taking his direction. And so because he's the one we need, we can cry out to him and say, now, God, here's what I'm dealing with. Here's what I'm going through. Here's what I'm facing. I need you to guide me. I need you to instruct me on the way that I need to take so that I don't miss it. I don't get lost in the midst of my dark moment. Because the last thing I should do, if I'm walking with the light, if I am living in the light, I should not get lost because I am traveling through a dark moment with a God who lights the way. And so he says, teach me the way in which I should walk, for I lift up my soul to you. I'm looking to you. In one translation, it says, because I trust you. He goes on in verse number 9. He says, rescue me, O Lord, from my enemies. I take refuge in you. Teach me to do your will so that I may please you, for you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me on level ground. Here's the last thing I got for you tonight. And here it is. David says the first thing I have to do, because he's the one, I have to make sure that I have a daily pursuit to rediscover his love for me. The second thing I need to do, because he's the one, we must never lose our desire for his direction. Keep following God, even when it gets tough, even when it looks like he forgot about you, even when it feels like he is not moving at the pace you need him to. Keep following him. But the last thing David helps us with in the text is he says, because he's the one we need, there must be a confirmed trust in him. There in the NIV, the New International Version, it says, teach me the way in which I should walk, for I trust you. Then it says, rescue me, O Lord, from my enemies, because I trust you. In the Amplified, it says, because I take up refuge in you. In other words, either way, I am reconfirming the fact that because you love me and because you give me direction, I have a confirmed trust that you can get me through this, but also that you can keep me in the midst of it. And I know that you won't just be an escape plan, you will be my preservation while I'm dealing with the pressure and the pain of the plan and the stage of the plan that I find myself in right now. And the one you trust, to whom the one you surrender, in whom you take refuge, this is the God that we worship. And David says, I'm going to reconfirm the fact, I am going to reaffirm the fact that I trust God in spite of what I'm dealing with. I will trust him when it's good, and I will trust him when it's bad. And regardless of what people say and where people go and how people treat things, I am going to confirm time and time again that I trust God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall, we're back at number 2, direct your path. Our trust is necessary in order for us to take his direction. You know, the reason why we will listen to a Waze, or we listen to a Google Maps, or we listen to one of our navigation systems is because we trust that what is built into the system knows the coordinates and the various routes to get us to our ultimate destination. Now, if you can trust a machine like that, what more can our God do when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, that we ought not have to fear, because we trust him so much that we know he's going to guide me into the valley, bring me through the valley, and make sure I escape the valley. And that's why I trust him, because he's not just doing it now. He has done it so many times before that I can trust him in this, because I know it was him that brought me out of that. And so today I want to encourage you to confirm that you trust him, because he's the one you need. Before you start looking for answers on Google or from friends or from family members, you got to go back to the one who has trusted you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. I trust him because he has proven himself to me time and time and time again. That's why David says he is the one that we need. Tonight, I want to encourage you that regardless of what you are dealing with, in spite of how you may feel, he is still the one that you need. There's a song that we sing, and sometimes I think that we miss the power of the words of the song. There's a song that we sing that says, "Don't give up on God, because he won't give up on you. He's able." Tonight, that's how I close. God loves you so much that he is not willing to walk away from you or the plan that he has in place for you. And so if he is that committed to you and the plan for your life, why shouldn't you and I be as committed to him? Tonight, as I close out, you may be there and you may be saying, "Preacher, I don't know this God. I don't know this Jesus who's the manifestation of God's love for me, that was willing to die for my sins." Tonight, will you let me introduce him to you? His name is Jesus, and he loves you regardless of who you are, regardless of where you've been, and regardless of what you've done. And tonight, if you're ready to establish a relationship with him, check this out. On a Wednesday night, you can connect with a God who loves you so much that he strategically orchestrated this moment just for you. And if that's you and you say, "Preacher, I don't know this Jesus, but I want to get to know him," I want you to repeat these words after me and say, "Father, thank you for this moment. Whatever day I'm watching, whatever time it is, you knew that I needed this, and I thank you for it. Now I confess with my mouth that I'm a sinner, which simply means I missed the mark. I've not lived up to the standard that you have for my life. But today, I'm ready for an upgrade. And so I confess with my mouth that I'm a sinner and I need to be saved. But I also believe in my heart that Jesus died for my sins as a result of your love. He died for my sins and the sins of the entire world. And now, as a result of my confession and my belief, right now, I can declare I am saved." My brother, my sister, if you prayed that prayer with me for the first time, I need you to know that right at this moment, you are saved. You don't have to do another thing to be saved. You are right now if you prayed that prayer with me. What I need you to do is I need you to make that acknowledgement. So in the comment section, put an S for salvation to let us know that you prayed that prayer for the very first time, because we want to get in touch with you. And I'll be back with you in a moment to let you know how we're going to do that. But there's a second group I'm looking for tonight. There's a group that says, "Preacher, I'm saved, but life got rough. Like the psalmist, I got overwhelmed and I started taking my own way and doing my own things, and I'm distant from God. And I don't know if he'll take me back." I'm here as his representative to say he's been waiting for you to come back. It's not about an if, it's about a when. And the only thing that dictates the win is you deciding now's the time. Tonight, won't you make that decision? Make that decision that it's time to come back to him. And if that's you, in the comment section, I want you to put an R for rededicate. Doesn't matter how long you've been gone or where you've been or what you've been doing. He's been waiting for you. Come back to him. Thirdly, there's a group. You don't have a church home. You're not connected to a church. And tonight, you've been watching us. You've been visiting us. Maybe it's your first time with us, but you feel the presence of God leading you to connect with this body of believers. My brother, my sister, if that's you, we'd love to have you be a part of the Life Church family. And you don't have to do anything special except this one thing. In the comment section, put a J for join to let us know that it's your desire to join. Now listen, if you put an S or an R or a J, what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to you via Facebook Messenger, and we're going to ask you what's the best method to get in touch with you, because we want to talk to you. We want to share with you. We want to get you information, because no one should do this alone. If you say to us that you want us to text or call or email, that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, maybe you don't have Facebook Messenger. I want you to look on the screen and to use the information on the screen, or go to our website, which is www.mylifechurchmd.com, and fill out a Connect card. On that Connect card, you can provide us with your email address or your phone number, and we will reach out to you based on the information you give to us. We want to make sure that you have somebody along with you to take this journey, to let you know that you're not alone. I want to thank you tonight for joining us. I pray in some way I have informed you, inspired you, but more than anything, I hope I've given you the information that will help you have a changed walk with God. Maybe you're walking with him, but you just need to make sure that each day you rediscover his love. Maybe you're walking with him, but you just need to make sure that you have a fire for his direction. Maybe you are walking with him, but you need to trust him just a little bit more. Oh, for grace to trust him more. Tonight, I want to thank you for joining us. I pray that you've been blessed by the time that we shared together. Before we leave, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'm going to ask you to sow into this moment. I'm going to ask you to get at least $11, and I'm going to ask you to give that electronically using the Life Church app, the Givelify app. You can give it on our website, www.mylifechurchmd.com, and look for the give option. You can sow there. At least $11 is what I'm going to ask you to give tonight. And if the Lord is leading you to give more, give more. If you don't have $11, you can't give it. Give what you can. But tonight, we know that sowing into the work of the ministry helps us position ourselves to be the ministry God is calling us to be. And that's what we want to do. Each day, we want to get better at being the individuals and the church that God has called us to be. And giving helps us collectively ensure that we can get there. Don't forget tomorrow night that we will be on the Zoom platform at 7 p.m. with Elder Graves. On Saturday morning at 10 a.m., Tone and Release with Deacon Jones at the Life Church campus. And then Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m., the Life Experience. You can meet us online, on site, or on Praise 106.1. We'd love to worship with you however you decide to join us. We just want to make sure that we get together, because we know that life is better when we do it together. Have a great night, everyone.